What's going on, everyone? Miguel here at Retro Basement, and I want to talk a little bit about Strictly Limited. They released their first game today, known as Tokyo 42, and it hasn't sold out yet, but that's expected because not a lot of people know about this company, like Limited Run before it, Special Reserve Games, Play Asia with Eastasiasoft. It's probably going to take a second to gain recognition, but I'm curious to know if this game is going to become the next Breach and Clear Saturday morning RPG. Like both of those games, it's not necessarily rated the highest. It's kind of a little bit of a lackluster release, but that's not indicative of what's to come in the future in regards to this company. So I was looking at the game and I did some digging and I did some talking to them via Twitter because I was just curious to get a little bit more information in regards to Strictly Limited because I know nothing about them, but the fact for the last few months the site popped up out of nowhere, and they had a little bit of I don't want to say backlash, but a little bit of people saying like oh my God, it's another company that makes limited games. That sucks. And I know there's been a little bit of weirdness between, well, not necessarily between, but there's been a little bit of, between limited run games and strictly limited. Because I think limited run games might feel that strictly limited is kind of biting off of, what they're doing, but that they're kind of not paying respects in a way, if that makes any sense, to the, the limited companies that came before them. And not to throw anybody on the bus or to say anything, because Douglas of Limited Run Games, I really like him, and he's a very pleasant person to talk to. But we've talked, and I've sat in on some of the Twitch things, and there seems to be some things that's going on between Limited Run Games and Strictly Limited. Limited Run Games has been a very humble company first and foremost because they've actually sent shout out to other limited you know print companies that produce games and supported them on their site. Example, Special Reserve Games. They've taken several of their releases and put them on their site. Limited Run Games came before Special Reserve Games. Um, I believe they even started to do their thing before, Play Asia and Eastasiasoft. So Limited Run Games right now are the, excuse this funny saying, but the OGs of, this limited print, publishing thing as a company, a big company that's been the first to do it, if that makes any sense. But back to Strictly Limited. So I had a short conversation with them. I wanted to find out like who are the owners, how did they come to this vision, how long have they had this vision in mind, and the information that I dug up, they had it in mind for approximately 10 months. Like Limited Run Games, they're a two-guy ran company. Um, Limited Run Games has Josh and Douglas, and Strictly Reserve Games has Benedict, and Dennis. Excuse me if I'm slaughtering anybody's names. My apology first. But let's proceed on. So, Strictly Reserve Games released their game today. And I'm a little on the fence about it. Of course, I'm going to buy it. And like I said, it hasn't sold out yet because people need, brand awareness. And they haven't got there yet. They haven't got there. But they will. The thing I like about this company, Strictly, was the Strictly company, the Strictly Games company, excuse my gaff there. I like the fact that they release one game per month. It's a lot easier on my wallet. Where these other companies, well, not other companies, because Play Asia hasn't really released a whole bunch of games yet. It neither has Special Reserve Games. But Limited Run, as much as I love them to death, oh my gosh, they just release so many games and it's so hard to keep up because I'm a collector. And I've been with them almost since the beginning, but I missed out on Breach and Clear Saturday morning RPG. So if anybody has that game and want to sell it to me for a very, very reasonable price because I'm a poor graduate student, please let me know. Nonetheless, let's get back on topic. So I had a conversation with Strictly, games, and they gave me a little information as I, talked about just previously concerning the company's conception. You know, also the way they come up with games, they price them $10 over, what they do on the digital copies to account for production costs. So I thought that was interesting. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You have to cover production costs and you have to make a profit to keep the company afloat. So that's great and dandy and wonderful. So going back, looking at history of these companies that I'm talking about, from limited run games to special reserve games to Play Asia with Eastasiasoft and to Strictly Limited. The thing that I'm questioning here is Strictly Limited, strictly, Strictly Limited games. Are they a bit overpriced for someone that's just coming out the gate kicking? Excuse my metaphor there. I know it was kind of lame. But anyway, the game, Tokyo 42. It's not a game that was released to critical praise or anything like that. It was on Steam before it was released on PlayStation 4. So, it is what it is. But the thing that bugs me a little bit, looking at the history of all these companies that's done it before them, their game is around, when I talked to them, they said $37, but when I put it in my little Google Euro translator, which it could be wrong, it's saying around 41 shipped, but they're saying 37. Nonetheless, it's not that much of a difference, but a few dollars couldn't make or break the bank for some people. But let's continue on. It's strictly limited games overpriced for someone that's new and need brand awareness. Compared to these other companies like limited run games that release Breach and Clear, $24 and something odd change. Compared to Eastasiasoft, who released the shoot 'em up game, $24. And I love my shoot 'em ups. with Eastasiasoft, they released that shoot 'em up. I forget the name, but I'll leave the links to these companies below and you can look for yourself. And also Special Reserve Games. They released their first game, $24, some odd change. Let's go on. So we got Special Reserve, we have a limited run, you know. We have Eastasiasoft. They all released their first games at $24 and something odd change. $24.98, 94 cents. Some I don't know. Somewhere in there, somewhere in the 90s. So anyway, this game is $37 to $41. Is it overpriced? In my opinion, my humble opinion, yes, this game is overpriced. I hate to say that, but for a company that's just coming out, I know that they told me that they have to put $10 extra for production costs, but still, it's just a bit overpriced. I know they're an international company. They're located in Germany, in Europe. For some people that don't know the geographics, but I'm sure you do. If you're listening to this channel, I'm just kidding. But yeah, they're releasing this game at let's just go with what they said, $37. Okay, that's a bit overpriced. They should have found a way to, I don't know, keep it at, well, I do know, keep it at $24. Since they're similar companies, the Limited Run, to Play Asia's Eastasiasoft development company, to Special Reserve Games, copying is the best form of flattery. I always say. So if I was a company and if I was doing publishing, I would have tried to keep it within that realm of companies that came before me. Then as I progress on, you know, release games or these limited run game soundtracks, whatever, bump up the price a bit more because that has been what limited runs did. That has been what Play Asia, what Eastasiasoft has done. That has been what Special Reserves has done. And I hope this is not playing into the factor why it hasn't sold out, but also brand awareness probably plays into the factor of that as well. But I believe the game is a bit overpriced. And I know I can't really say that because I don't know what marketing went into it. I don't know what, this, that, and the third went into it. Maybe with it all said and done, this is what it cost. But maybe they should have tried to swallow a bit of that cost and tried to recoup on the next round of games next month. Because I don't know how long they're going to keep this one game per month policy. Because even limited run games started out, really slow when it came to game releases. And as they got more brand awareness, got more publishers on board, a lot of that changed. And they could change. Nothing is written in stone in regards to what can be done in the future. So, I'm going to buy the game because, I'm a collector and I'm not going to buy it now. I hope it's not sold out once I put out this video. And I don't think it will be, but if it is, that's fine. I'll track it down somehow. I'm sure they probably have a waiting list or something. I email them. If worse come to worse, I'm broke as a joke right now, so I'm just not trying to pay any extra money. That's not why I really did this video, to talk down their price or anything, because their price doesn't coincide with other companies that are similar. So I wanted to just talk about it, do my little rant, get people thinking, maybe even get strictly, limited games, thinking a bit about their policies as well. Um, I'm wishing them success and congratulations to their launch. And thank you for answering my questions over Twitter. I really appreciate that. But nonetheless, I had to question the pricing of the games. And it's not to, berate the company or anything like that or say, hey, you're doing stuff wrong and I know how to do stuff right. No, it's not that. I'm just here doing my little gaming channel, to put information in the hand of consumers like myself, game collectors, anime collectors, electronic collectors, and buyers. So we can think about this stuff, make reasonable decisions, and not make impulse buys. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and bell button to let you know when I come out with new videos. Generally, I come out with new videos every Saturday and Sunday, but every now and then I'll sneak an extra one in there. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again in Retro Basement. Take care.
What?